Alrighty, y'all, welcome to Ellis Mowers. I'm going to do a Saturday night update for y'all. I'm in a good spot. I'm just about to clean up the garage for the evening. Got some new projects in the garage I'll show you what I'm doing with. Garage is a mess. I'll clean up the tools. It'll look a lot better here in just a little bit. Let me start off, I guess, by saying what I'm going to be working on over the next few weeks. You'll see on the channel mostly just push mowers. You'll see, actually, and I'm going to do a follow-up to it, a follow-up on this LT1000 Craftsman back here, which I do have posted for sale, and I have done my absolute best to sort out, and I cannot get it 100%. But I've got it listed for $400 because it's got the hydrostatic trans, brand new deck belt. I put tubes in all the tires, and everything is in good cosmetic shape. It has this opposed twin 19.5 horsepower on it. Brand new battery. Cut the grass with it yesterday, actually, before I posted it for sale. Usually I would post a mower like this for $500. The reason why I'm doing it for $400 is because I have done everything in my power, and I have gotten it better than it was when it came into the door. When it came into the door, it would start and run for about 20 minutes when you cut with it, and then it would start bogging down, running on one cylinder, spitting, sputtering until it finally just quit. And then it wouldn't restart, and it would run the battery down. Now I've gotten it. I'll tell you everything I've done with it. I have cleaned the heads, put new plugs in it, and I have opened up the jets on it in the carburetor. Opening up the jets in the carburetor seemed to help out the most. I tried a new carburetor. The one that's on it was the original carburetor, and I have a new fuel pump on it. So I've got that. And other things just to try and keep it cool, like washing the engine and things like that. It will run, it'll start and run, cut grass all day long. All day long. If you shut it down, though, after you cut grass for a little while, you got to wait about 20 minutes to start it back up for it to cool down. Let the hood open. Apart from that, it's a great mower, and I have no other ideas as to what I could do to make it better. I've tried to keep the fuel line away from most of the heat on the engine. And again, the motor's the engine's 20 years old, so I don't expect perfection. I've heard that those opposed twins are really, really hard to restart. So this one's been the pain in the rear mower. Partially because of the engine. It won't really kick over. It'll kick over and fire, but it's kind of lopes on choke. I think I got to re-gap the plugs back down to about 20 thousandths. I had them down even lower, but it was surging like crazy, especially when I put a load on it. I had this thing, it was ready to sell and everything. What I did was something very dumb. This deck came to me without any blade brakes on it. And blade brakes are too expensive to put on a deck of a lawnmower that looks like this, and I'm not going to get more than about $300 on, $350 if I'm really lucky. I'm ready to see these two gone because I'm not upside down in them, but I'm basically at a break-even point. And what I did today did not help me in the least. So I have two deck spindles here, brand new. One of them is seized. Brand new deck spindle. It's seized. You tell me how. I'm going to grease it up, lube it up, see if I can make it better. But I can't even turn it. It's so tight. And these are the non-greasable kinds. I might get some grease fittings. This one over here is good. However, what I did today didn't help it. I don't know if y'all can see. I broke it. How did I break it? Well, I told you the blade brakes are no longer on it. I had the deck all the way down because I don't know why, and brought it over the concrete right here, and it made nice chips in the concrete, which I'm a little bit upset about. But as you can see, it's just from over the years, it's just had some imperfections in the concrete too. A little upset about that. Ended up breaking the spindles, so I've got another $40 in spindles coming to hopefully sort this thing out once and for all. I'll check that spindle on the right side to see if it's better. I'm just not doing it today because I'm kind of perturbed at myself, so to speak. One other thing. Oh, I gotta explain a couple other things in here while I'm here. So this Murray, y'all have seen it a couple of times before. I fixed the transaxle for the guy. He started, and I actually cut the backyard with it. He started cutting, and there was, I guess the other guy that used to own it before him had gone into the transaxle to re-grease it and stuff because it may have not been working right. Well, guess what? It reared its ugly head again. So what I did, y'all had seen my personal Craftsman mower back here in the back. I had not used that thing for almost a year, and at this point it was taking up space. I don't really like using it on my yard because of all the turns and stuff that I have in it. So I'll use the snapper if I need to cut the yard with a mower that I'm not testing out with, which hasn't been the case, and we're almost halfway through cutting season. So I've got this mower. I'm not getting into the transaxle on this thing. I got it listed for $80. I figured somebody could use it as a parts mower. The 8 horsepower engine runs great. It's got a $30 battery in it. Somebody will come around and buy it at some point. I have a couple of push mowers back there in the back that need a couple of items before I sell them off. One thing I usually don't do is repairs. I had somebody that a church friend that wanted me to look at this Honda pressure washer. And if y'all saw my Instagram post, y'all saw me wash my front walk and stairs with it. It came to me, it wasn't enough to do a video on, but it came to me with a symptom of it seemed like the engine was frozen on it. I was able to free up the engine. It had gas in it. I got it right out of the car, right out of the Element actually, one night. The night I went over to take it, or to get it. And all I did was release the pressure on the pump, pull it, and it freed up. And I was like, looked inside, I saw gas. I was like, let me see if it fired up. I pulled the choke out, it cranked up on like the second pull. Of course, I didn't run it very long. It also had some dirt in the pressure washer hose. Cleared the dirt out. Pump works great. Pressure washer runs great. So got that going for us as well. Only be charge them a $25 service fee. So they'll be in good shape. I've made decent headway on some stuff back here this week. This week's been my off week from work. Next week's my on week, so I probably won't be doing a terrible ton of stuff. This was a freebie. It isn't much. It's in pieces, but I think it's got promise. For some reason, the guy took it apart. I think it needed a carburetor, and he took the starter off of it, but everything, and the head gasket, but everything else is there. I'm not going to get under the hood and everything. There's the deck for it. The deck's in very good shape. He had rebuilt spindles and the housings and all that on it. And so I've got all the hardware to reinstall that. I just got to do it. This is not high on the list, though, of things to get done. What is high on the list of things to get done are neither of these, nor that. I've got a lot of parts mowers I'm starting to amass here. I'll purge them here at some point, but they've been serving me very well as parts mowers. The 14.5 is gone off of this one, so I'll show you what it's on here in just a second. And it's not on this Husqvarna. What the Husqvarna is going to eventually get is that 17 horsepower on the back there. In the Troy Bilt back there, I've told y'all many times. The Craftsman I learned needs a compression release. That Murray, I can't get the engine to spin on it. It's probably because it's got water in the cylinder, and I got to purge that out. Craftsman, I'm pretty sure, needs a starter, and obviously a deck and rear tire and things like that. The Troy Bilt, I tried to fire it one day and it tried, but I don't know how good of a compression. I think it's got a stuck valve or something along those lines. The Lowe's did come with a free bagger, so I might try and sell the baggers off just to get them out of here, because I know I'm not going to use these much at all over the course of time. I just got to clean some stuff up. Like I said, it's basically, I've been to damage control since the first week in April, so I've just been kind of trying to get stuff out the door as quick as I can, and then spending a little bit of time cleaning things up. This Troy Bilt pony is currently in running and cutting condition. I pretty much had to just put a carburetor in it, find a deck return spring, and put it back together, and it is actually running and cutting, which is really nice. I do have more work to do on it. I just finished part 1 of that video series, so you'll see that coming on down the line. Y'all got a ton more content before you see this, though. I've got content out the gills right now. It's awesome. Y'all have been supporting the channel very well. I've got to level the deck in the front here because it's sitting way too low. I have to do a couple other things to it. I've got to replace some dreaded drive belts on it. I'm not looking forward to that job, although I don't think it's going to be terribly difficult. Nowhere near as bad as the old style MTDs, but the drive belts are 20 bucks, and I've just got to level the deck, clean it off, and do a little bit of deck welding on the rear mount here, which is, these are pretty known for rusting or for cracking, so I'll get that taken care of. Apart from it, that mower is pretty much sorted. Let me go in the garage here, and I'll tell you about my sales here in the next couple of minutes. I've told you about a couple already. So the John Deere 125 is back in here. Kind of looking forward to getting this one done, to be honest with you. This is going to be a good lawnmower for somebody. I took the 20 horsepower out, and some people might think this is going to be a little underpowered, but I've got a 14.5 that I'm about to bolt in to see if I can get it back cutting. Obviously, I've got the deck and everything else that I need for it. I just need to get a good engine on it, because if you remember, y'all just saw this one on the video series. The right cylinder is connecting rod's blown on it. So got a good 14.5 off a junk mower out there. Gonna put it in this. I'll save the V-twin for another project if I ever want to delve into one of these. I still haven't decided if I want to, quite honestly. We'll see if I get the parts. One of my loyal subscribers, Bronze Chicken, has offered up a 22 horse. The issue is he's just a little too far away for me to come get it. I'll have to wait until I'm down his way to get it. This 14.5 should put it back on the road. I'm thankful that the pulley came off of the MTD really easily out there. You can just slide the new pulley back on it. Again, 14.5 may not be my first choice, but I'm saving the 17 horse for that terrible Kohler Courage that has the Husqvarna, and I'll probably, quite honestly, swap over all the wiring harness and everything too for it, just so that I don't have to worry about it. like trying to cross the wires, and I know the Kohler has a different ignition module and stuff. This is a Briggs to a Briggs, so it's pretty straightforward and simple from what I can tell. Really the only hurdles I've got to figure out are how to get vacuum pressure to the fuel pump, which I think I'm going to tap something off of the oil dipstick tube here in order to do that. Again, I'm not 100% sure. I just got to find some sort of vacuum to get to the fuel pump. If I tap it off of the dipstick tube or if I tap it off of the valve cover, I'm not quite sure yet. If anybody's got any suggestions, I might do a little research. If anybody's got any suggestions on how I need to do this, please let me know. I would love to, I would entertain any and every potential solution to the issue. Because I've done one of these a long time ago. I put a 13 horse flathead on one of these. I don't know what I was thinking. It was a D110 also, so it was almost a brand new mower. But that's what's going on in the garage. I've got John Deere green and John Deere yellow for the deck and the frame respectively. A little bit of black, and a little seat cover is going to fix the issue with the seat. So this thing will be a decently sharp mower when it's finished, but it's got to finish first. I would love to get on this 165 because it's got the Kawasaki on it. However, I've got to figure out the issue with the ignition switch, number one, and number two, I don't think the starter is engaging, so I think it needs a starter at the very least too. I would love to get this going. I love the look of these. They look tough, they're built tough, and they'll be a good mower for somebody. Other than that, I just need to do some general cleaning up in the garage. It's not atrocious. It's looked a lot worse than it does now. And I'm about to do some major cleanup here very shortly. So, like I said, coming down on the channel. We'll have a lot of push mower stuff coming up. Couple riding mowers. I think we'll get back into the riding mowers come late July, early August. So, as you can see, I got more stuff to work on. Things I have learned are starting to slow down a little bit in terms of riding mowers, push mowers. So, like I said, it'll quiet down. There's that deck for the John Deere. I got to find a deck belt for it as well. I might go ahead and order one just so I have one on hand. So yeah, that's kind of the update. I appreciate all of y'all watching. We've picked up about 40 subscribers in the past 2 weeks, which is awesome. Well on our way to getting to 2,000 by the end of the year, which is even more awesome. So I appreciate all y'all watching. As always, if you got any suggestions of what I'm working on right now, y'all see it in the garage, fire away, fire at me. I need to know solutions and little pointers, because I don't know everything. Y'all teach me a whole lot, more than I could ever ask for, so here on YouTube. So thank y'all again for watching. I'll catch y'all on tomorrow night's video. We'll be doing I believe it's the Troy Bilt TB230 push mower, just needing a little bit of maintenance. So I'll catch y'all tomorrow night on that video, and I'll catch y'all right here on the channel and at Ellis Mowers 09 on Facebook and Instagram. See you then.